Good afternoon. I'm KHOU Meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are starting off mostly warm and muggy. It feels like summer out there. Unfortunately, we only have a few more hours of these summer-like conditions, especially as we head in the afternoon, because we are expecting the arrival of a cold front for tomorrow. It's going to be a very slow-moving cold front, and it's not going to be our version of a cold front that's going to bring us some drastically cooler temperatures, but we are expecting it to bring some drier air in place, as well as the return of those 60-degree morning temperatures that we enjoyed a few days ago. But 89 degrees right now. We're just about to hit the 90-degree mark. It's going to be warm today, Thursday. Well, actually, today's Wednesday. I'm already wanting it to be Thursday. Wednesday is looking mostly warm and muggy. We're seeing a few clouds out there as well. Some hazy skies across downtown Houston. As far as your hourly forecast, those highs this afternoon likely to get once again about 94 degrees. I wouldn't be surprised if some of us actually make it to about 95. Like we saw yesterday. So expect also the chance for maybe an isolated shower or two. Radar's looking mostly quiet across southeast Texas. We're not seeing any rain on radar. However, our future track model is showing maybe a flare up of an isolated downpour or two, maybe here and there. We did have one of these yesterday out in northwestern Harris County. I was actually caught in that. Roads were wet. It rained for actually a good 30 to 45 minutes out on the northwest side. And so we could see that once again today. But other than that, most of us are really just not going to receive rain. It's going to be a mostly warm and muggy just day today, like we've been enduring all summer, unfortunately. It's not going to be until tomorrow. With the arrival of this front moving southward, eventually pushing past south of Houston, it's also going to bring some sunny skies, less humidity, as well as a fire weather risk. So we are expecting those temperatures to once again drop just a bit. But look at these low temperatures, especially up to the northeast of us. They might see some 30-degree temps out in Louisville, Pittsburgh, Little Rock, likely to start in the 50s. That's jacket weather for them. But for us, we're expecting to see just slightly cooler conditions as we head into Friday morning. Friday morning is going to be the day that we're going to see more of the effects of this frontal system in place. I think tomorrow evening is going to be quite good as well, as this front will be moving south of us. So dew points are going to go from the 70s like we're seeing right now. This is the atmospheric moisture. So the humidity once again dropping into the 50s. And when we look at our dew point scale, this is really the measure of atmospheric moisture, the saturation levels in the atmosphere. Usually when it's 70 to 75 degrees, summer humid type feeling conditions. I know you always hear folks complaining about Houston. Oh, they hate Houston. It's so humid there. Well, I mean, not for much longer, because we are expecting to see that cold front to bring us dry and refreshing air finally as we head into Friday and into Saturday. So Friday's looking like a day that we're going to see that refreshing air. But when you have dry air in place, as well as the lack of rain that we have not received for the past month, I know it's been mostly a rainy summer, but the month of September and most of August really didn't receive significant amount of rainfall, and therefore that's going to give us a fire weather risk, especially from Houston, Conroe, Huntsville, Livingston, where you see these tan colors. That's a moderate risk, a bit elevated, but very high risk just south of Livingston in the Piney Woods area along 59. So if you are wanting to spend time outdoors, you may think the weather's going to be great for burning outdoors or possibly barbecuing. You might want to do that cautiously, because that very well could easily cause some grass fires, and like we've seen in days past as well. Also, like I said, we haven't received much rain, and the drought report is showing that. This is the one that was released this last Thursday of last week. Usually they release them every Thursday, and we're already starting to see moderate drought conditions creeping closer towards Houston. Areas across town are just abnormally dry. That's the preliminary level before we end up in drought. And so we're starting to see that moderate drought now creeping closer towards Columbus, portions of Colorado County. And I can only imagine this is going to spread once we head into getting that next update as we head into Thursday. As far as the tropics, we can't forget about hurricane season. It lasts until November 31st, and the tropics are still active. We have Tropical Storm Jerry that's currently churning out in the Atlantic Ocean. This storm is going to strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane by Friday morning. It's going to remain over open water, remaining a fish storm, not posing a threat to the U.S. or southeast Texas. It might edge a little closer towards the Leeward Islands, but I think that this is going to be one of those storms, once again, remaining well over open water and not posing a threat to us. Also, there is a little disturbance that's out in the Bay of Campeche. It has a 10% chance of development within the next 2 days. We're watching this system pretty closely, but we're expecting that to continue into Mexico. This is going to remain well to the south of us. You know, that cold front that I was just telling you about, it's going to push that system south and keep it well away from us, and that's what we usually see during this time of year when it comes to the tropics. Usually October, all of our frontal systems, our fall fronts that bring us this dry air, keeps the tropics well away from us during this time of year, even though it is possible for some storms to make their way into the Gulf going into the tropical season or the hurricane season. But as far as your 7-day forecast, expect those highs to remain in the 90s for today. It's going to be a warm and muggy afternoon. We at least have one more day to endure this very muggy summer-like day. And then tomorrow will be less humid. We will start feeling the effects of that cold front going into Thursday. So just keep in mind, it's not going to be a drastic cold front. It's not going to cause the leaves to change orange automatically. You know how it is here in Houston. We have to wait at least until December for leaves to change for us or for leaves to fall. But we are expecting to see those conditions to remain mostly sunny for the next few days. So we will see those highs still remain a bit warm in the upper 80s, low 90s, but it's the morning temperatures, the evening temperatures that we're going to have to really just enjoy, because we will see cooler conditions if you're heading out for those morning jogs, or you just want to, enjoy the morning air with your cup of coffee out on your porch. Finally, we're going to have some porch weather here across Houston, especially for this weekend. So here's a live look right now. We have a little bit of cloud cover moving in across town. We are looking at the Williams Tower. This is over the Galleria area. You see downtown in the background, and this cloud cover, this little puffiness of those clouds is just really giving me a sign that we might see another isolated downpour later on today. It's what we saw yesterday. If you were on the northwest side of town, especially out in northwestern Harris County, 89 degrees right now. We will be at 90 degrees once before you know it, but we are expecting that hourly forecast to look mostly just warm and muggy and summer-like for this afternoon. Might see partly cloudy skies, but I think between the hours of 4 and 5 is when we're going to start seeing the arrival of an isolated downpour or two. It's not going to be widespread. There's nothing on radar right now, but you might see the daytime heating feel some possible isolated downpour development going into this afternoon, and that's what our future track model is showing later on today. Not everybody's going to receive rain, but some of us might be fortunate enough to get a cool down from this muggy temperature and the muggy feeling that we've been dealing with for the past couple of days. And then rain chances diminishing. We're going to have mostly clear conditions, especially as we head into tomorrow. Once this front arrives, that's going to bring some dry air. It's going to clear our skies out, and it's going to bring fantastic conditions for Friday and into the weekend. So highs are going to be a little bit cooler, but morning temps are where we're really going to feel it with those lows in the 60s. So this is going to be moving southward. That is going to bring us, this is called a backdoor cold front. Usually when it comes to cold fronts that we usually see in the winter time, they usually move in directly from the north, but this is actually moving in from the northeast. You're able to see a dip of those temps around Louisville, Pittsburgh. That high pressure system that's now moving southward is going to bring that somewhat Arctic air into portions of northern Tennessee, even Kentucky, Pittsburgh, likely to see more like winter temperatures. We're not going to get that cold, especially for us here across the Houston area, but we're also expecting that front to push all of that humid air well to the south of us. So dew points going from the 60s down into the 50s. And once again, showing you the dew point scale. So when we talk about dew points, we're talking about the measure of saturation in the atmosphere. And when we usually have it around 70, 75 degrees, when we show you dew points in the 70s, it's summer humid type conditions. If it's above 75, it's extreme. It's very muggy out there, very humid outside. But as we head into Friday, once the dew points drop into the below 60, that really is an indication that the air is dry, and it really takes away that muggy feeling that we all endure here across Southeast Texas for much of our summers. However, like I said before, we are expecting that elevated fire weather risk, especially for Thursday. There is going to be a very high risk for the Piney Woods area along 59, just to the north east of Conroe, but this does include all of Houston and all of Harris County. This is from the Texas A&M Forest Service of their fire weather outlook. So if you are planning to do outdoor burning, be extra cautious when doing it, because we have dry air in place. We also haven't had any rain. Some of our vegetation is drying out a bit, and that really does cause fires to easily start and become out of control sometimes, especially as with the lack of rain. And we're able to see that also with the increasing drought for areas to the west of us. We're not in drought officially here in Houston, but we could start seeing that moderate drought starting to spread and get closer as we head into tomorrow, because that's the next drought update when they do release. They release it every Thursday, and so we are expecting moderate drought conditions to continue spreading across southeast Texas. As far as the tropics, we can't forget tropics are still active. We have Tropical Storm Jerry in the Atlantic. This is remaining well over open water. It might edge closer to the Leeward Islands, but that's going to strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane by Friday morning, staying over open water, not posing a threat to the U.S. or the Gulf. We also tracking this little area that's off in the Bay of Campeche. That's going to start moving directly into Mexico, and that is not really going to have enough time to strengthen or to become organized. Also, that front that's arriving for us tomorrow, it's going to keep that system well to the south of us, and that is going to really just keep all the tropics out of our neck of the woods, at least for the next 7 days. So temps remaining above normal as we head into October 14th to October 18th, but we are expecting the next 7 days, starting tomorrow, not today, but tomorrow, is where we'll start seeing less humid conditions, a drop in the humidity, slightly cooler conditions. I think tomorrow evening is going to be the start of that feel-good weather. I think you're going to don't crowd the parks too much, because I actually like going in the evening. But we are expecting to see those less humid conditions by tomorrow evening, and then much cooler into Friday with temperatures in the 60s, upper 80s for the most part as we head into the weekend. So I think it's going to be perfect for outdoor activities for this weekend, but just be extra cautious burning outdoors because it is going to be a bit dry out there. 90-degree temps once again returning for Monday, but we are also expecting just warm and dry conditions for the next few days starting tomorrow. So we're anticipating the arrival of this cold front that's going to bring that comfortable weather and a break from this humidity once again, especially as we head into our weekend. So enjoy the weather out there and be safe out there. And as always, we are tracking the latest forecast on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app. We will be here once again with our next weather update starting at 4 p.m.